What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about a very important subject that almost nobody is talking about, and that is taxes. Why is it so important? Well, most of us in the crypto space, we have done a ton of money, or at least I hope you have done a lot of money. So now, depending on where you live, you might have to pay a ton of taxes, and that sucks. And I would never feel comfortable paying any taxes. So I have the 3 best steps here so that you won't pay any taxes in the future. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 might sound very funny for you and for a lot of people, but it is true and it works. So number 1 is HODL, never sell. The pros are you never pay taxes, you're always riding that sweet wave, and you are pretty much never stressing out because since you're not gonna sell, you don't really care about the price. The cons is that how are you supposed to buy stuff? And how are you supposed to enjoy it? What's the point of always hodling your cryptos? Maybe one point on the pros is that it might work as generational wealth. But this one might not work for everybody. So let's go to number 2. Move to another country. So the pros on this one is that potentially it might be 0% tax depending on which country you choose to live in. Also, another pro is that you discover new places, you meet new people that could potentially start a business, and that helps a lot in the long run. And also, you're gonna have more money to invest since you are potentially gonna get 0% tax in another country. The cons on this strategy is that sometimes, well, most of the time it's very expensive because you have to move everything to another country. For some, it might be very uncomfortable, and also if you have a family, you might not be able to move them all. And that's why this one is probably the best strategy for, well, from my point of view, and this one might work for almost all the people. But you know the pros and the cons, you can compare them and you can choose if it works for you or no. And the third one is for only US citizens. Since I know you as a US citizen, you have to pay taxes in the US. It doesn't matter wherever you are in the whole world. So if you're, let's say, in Germany and you have to pay 10% in taxes when you sell, you also have to pay in the US. So you get double taxed, and that sucks. So the third one is that you can renounce to the US citizenship. What are the pros? Well, you're still paying US taxes. Wherever you go and live, you won't have to pay US taxes anymore. Another one, you can move to any tax haven country you wish, and there are many awesome places you can choose from. And you will only have to pay taxes from where you live, so that's pretty cool. The cons is that you must have a second citizenship. You can't just say, I don't want my US citizenship anymore. You have to have a second one. And citizenships are very expensive in some countries. Also, you might have to move to another country. Since you're renouncing to your US citizenship, you might need a visa after that. I'm not sure about that, but remember to do your own research. And also, there's an exit tax when you quit your US citizenship. So always talk to a CPA and a lawyer if you're thinking about doing this one. I have thought about doing this one in the long run only if my profit exceeds like $100 million. I think there will be a sweet spot to say bye-bye to the US citizenship. If not, then I will keep it because it gives you a lot of freedom whenever you're traveling and a lot of protection around the world. So I think it is very useful to have. Out of these 3 options, I chose number 2, move to another country. I was living in California, and well, I didn't move to another country, but I moved to a US territory, that is Puerto Rico. And I'm gonna be getting 0% tax for this whole tax year. It doesn't matter if I sold something in January, February, I'm getting the whole tax year at that sweet 0%. And I'm very excited, but with that comes a lot of expenses. And depending on the country that you move, if you have the US citizenship and you move to another country, let's say Germany, I saw that if you don't sell for 1 year in Germany, it's considered a long-term capital gain, and after that then you can just sell it at 0% tax. So that's pretty sweet. I would definitely take advantage of that if I didn't have the US citizenship, but I have it, and it's not something bad to have, but you have to work around that. And I moved to Puerto Rico. I'm living in Puerto Rico right now, and it's a very awesome island, and I've been having a lot of fun. But you have to make sure to do all your own research. Right here in Puerto Rico, I'm gonna explain it a little bit for everyone that is a US citizenship and wants to come over here. I have to pay $2,500 for the lawyer. I don't know how much the CPA is gonna charge me. I have to pay $5,000 for, it's like a fee for, so you can start all the documentation. And also you have to donate $10,000 every year to a non-profit organization that it's on the webpage they show you. And when you hear this, you're gonna be like, that's expensive. Like, it might not make a lot of sense if I only have like 20,000 in capital gains, because you're gonna spend it all like that. And also you have to buy a property within 2 years of receiving the residence. So imagine, real estate over here is very expensive. You can compare it with, I'm not sure, but it is very expensive. Like a small house, it's close to $100,000. So to be able to move to Puerto Rico and get the 0% tax and you benefit, I would say you need at least like $500,000 in profit. So that is something you can get a lot of tax savings. If not, then I wouldn't recommend you to do it. And also it's a risky bet, because let's say right now I'm in very good profits, but let's say in later at the year it drops and I'm actually in a loss, then I already spent a lot of money getting the fee application, 5,000, pick the lawyer, the CPA. So you're taking a big risk. And I think it's very important to have that in mind if you really want to move to another country, and how much you're gonna be risking for getting that 0% tax. I believe crypto is still like in the middle of the bull run and we can go higher, but I might be wrong and I'm taking that risk. So that's the route I took on these 3 options. I think the 2 is the most beneficial for most of the people, but it depends on what position in your life you are. And also, this is not financial advice. Always hire a lawyer and a CPA whenever you're doing this, so you make 100% sure that you will get those benefits. Some people told me right here in Puerto Rico, just get a CPA, he'll do everything for you, he'll apply and everything. But I heard from a very famous YouTuber, Crypto Collins, he hired a lawyer. And I think if you have too much at risk, like at this point, paying another $2,500, it's not a big thing when you are potentially gonna save up hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's why I did it, and that's why I think it's a very good idea to be 100% sure you're getting, it's not guaranteed, but you're getting a more percentage of probability of succeeding at this. So that's what I did. I hope this video helps you choose between those 3. There are more ways to save more money, but these are my 3 favorites that I don't think anyone would get them wrong. But just always make sure you hire someone that tells you this is the right way or not the right way, so you always get those benefits and you don't risk that. Also, I'm gonna be doing live streams playing poker and roulette on Decentraland. So that's gonna be very cool, and maybe I'm gonna be playing poker online too. So if you like that kind of content, remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. Subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching.